What if the fastest way to get someone to do something was to tell them they absolutely can't? A mother once spent 3 weeks begging her son to read a single book. She failed every night. Then she placed the book on the top shelf, told him it was too grown up for him, and walked out of the room. He finished it in 2 days. This video breaks down the hidden psychology that makes humans do the exact opposite of what they're told. It reveals the simple mental trick behind winning arguments, raising stubborn kids, closing sales, beating procrastination, and even repairing broken relationships. By the end, viewers will know the one rule that separates master persuaders from everyone else, and why almost everyone who tries reverse psychology uses it completely wrong. But first, what is reverse psychology actually? Reverse psychology is the act of telling someone the opposite of what you want, so they do what you want on their own. Psychologists call the effect behind it reactance. When a person feels their freedom is being squeezed, their brain pushes back, hard. The harder the push, the stronger the pull in the opposite direction. Picture a toddler refusing to eat carrots. The parent who begs loses. The parent who says, "Fine, but don't you dare eat those carrots, they're mine," watches the toddler sneak every single one off the plate. Same carrots, same child, different freedom. So why does the human brain fall for this every single time? The brain treats the phrase, "you can't," like a tiny attack. A researcher named Jack Brame proved this back in 1966. In his famous study, Brame gave people 4 records and asked them to rate which ones they liked most. Then he told each person they could take one home as a gift, but he quietly removed one of the 4 options from the choice. The moment a record was taken off the table, people suddenly rated that record much higher than before. Nothing about the music had changed. The only thing that changed was that they could no longer have it. The brain doesn't weigh the choice, it defends the freedom to choose. This is also why forbidden love feels so strong. Studies on what's called the Romeo and Juliet effect found that couples whose parents tried to break them up actually fell harder for each other. The disapproval didn't kill the love, it fed it. If this trick is so powerful, where is it hiding in normal, everyday life? Everywhere. Luxury brands say their product is not for everyone. Nightclubs put a velvet rope in front of a half-empty room. Sneaker companies drop only 200 pairs and watch the internet melt down. None of these brands are begging, they are pushing customers away, on purpose. Dating works the same way. The person who texts back instantly often feels less exciting than the one who takes a day to reply. This is not a game, it is reactance in action. And parents who ban a certain TV show almost always create a child who finds a way to watch it in secret at a friend's house. The ban is the ad. The sneaker that no one can have becomes the sneaker everyone needs. The rope isn't keeping people out, it's pulling them in. But does reverse psychology actually work on smart people who already know about it? Yes, and that is the strangest part. Reactance is emotional, not logical. Knowing the trick does not turn it off, the same way knowing a scary movie is fake does not stop the jump scare. The feeling fires first. The thinking catches up later. Mark Twain showed this perfectly in the story of Tom Sawyer. Tom was punished with whitewashing a fence. Instead of complaining, he acted like painting the fence was the most fun a kid could have. Within minutes, other children were paying him for a turn with the brush. No one was tricked by a lie. They were tricked by wanting what looked out of reach. So, if reverse psychology bends the brain this hard, how do the best negotiators use it on purpose? 3 ways. The first is the walk away. A buyer who calmly says, "This isn't for me," and steps toward the door, often hears a better price before they reach it, because the seller's brain switches from selling to chasing. The second is price anchoring in reverse, showing the most expensive option first, then offering a cheaper one, which suddenly feels like a bargain the buyer has to grab before it disappears. The third is called door in the face. Ask for something huge, get rejected, then ask for what you actually wanted. The second ask feels small, reasonable, and almost impossible to say no to. Top negotiators are not pushing harder than everyone else. They are pulling back at the exact moment the other side expects a push. Here is the strangest twist of all. Can a person use reverse psychology on their own brain? Yes, and it is one of the best tricks for beating procrastination. Instead of forcing a task, shrink it until refusing feels silly. Tell the brain, "I am only allowed to work on this for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, I must stop." The brain, which hates being told to stop, suddenly wants to keep going. The rule was never about the 5 minutes. The rule was about flipping the freedom switch. The same trick works with sleep, with exercise, with writing, with any habit the brain is resisting. Take away the pressure to do it, and half the resistance vanishes on its own. So how does a normal person use this without turning into a manipulator? There are 4 quiet rules. First, be subtle. The moment the other person spots the trick, it dies. Second, stay honest. Reverse psychology built on a lie breaks trust the second the lie cracks. Third, give a real choice, not a fake one. The goal is not to trap someone. The goal is to hand them back the feeling of control they thought they were losing. And fourth, the rule almost everyone skips: get the timing right. Reverse psychology only works on a brain that feels cornered. Use it on a person who already agrees, and it does nothing. Use it on a person who already feels respected, and it backfires. The cleanest version of this is 3 small words. Up to you. A parent who says, "You can wear the jacket or not, up to you," gets a kid who picks the jacket. A manager who says, "Take the project or pass, up to you," gets an employee who leans in. The freedom is real, the pull is invisible. And when does reverse psychology completely blow up in a person's face? When it is obvious, when it is constant, and when it is aimed at the wrong person. Very agreeable people often do exactly what they are told because they do not feel the freedom threat in the first place. Children under 4 often miss the trick entirely, and anyone who has been burned once will see it coming forever. Used once, reverse psychology looks like magic. Used every day on the same person, it looks like a con. And once someone feels conned, no trick in the world will move them again. Here is the rule that ties all of it together. People do not want to be convinced. People want to feel like they decided. Reverse psychology works in parenting, in business, in love, in every corner of life, because it hands the other person the one thing every human brain is quietly protecting: the feeling of choosing for themselves. Think of the brain like a door. Push on it, and it pushes back. Step away from it, and it swings open on its own. Master that feeling, and persuasion stops looking like persuasion. It starts looking like their idea.